this is a live stream test. I'm testing out our Insta360 camera to see if we can bring you some real-time action up here in the Pacific Northwest. So let's see how this works. I'm still kind of learning everything. It's kind of hard to see me, but that's a little too bright. There we go. That's something. So I don't know if I can see comments on this. I am still figuring it out. So that's what we're doing here. Currently on the 90, just out of Post Falls, approaching, so we're 90 eastbound, nope, westbound, approaching the Idaho state line, heading into Washington to go patrol some of our clients. We'll have to figure out how we can edit all that out because that's confidential. But what we will show you is what we see on a regular basis in the Spokane area. Now I'm leaving Idaho, which is no issues. I guess I can't say that. We did have a pretty gnarly issue over the weekend. That was just disgusting and heartbreaking. But as far as the property crime issues, the transient activity, the drug use, significantly worse once you cross that imaginary border. I met someone, well, it's the sheriff, and he said that he supports building the wall. We're all like, okay. Oh, the wall between Washington and Idaho, which is what a lot of Idahoans think. But to each their own. Where are we now? Looks like we're in the industrial area. Here's your last chance to get some cheap gas before you cross over into Washington. You're paying 50 cents more. What are we at? $3.37 a gallon? That's a little high for my liking. I like to stick around the $3 mark. This is Tedder Industries. This place, Tedder Industries owns this entire area. Let's see if you can see it. The entire area to my left. That is the home of Alien Gear Holsters. They make some pretty good holsters. I'm not an Alien Gear kind of guy, though. I prefer my Blackhawk T-Series. Lighter. Not having to do all sorts of funky things with your thumb just to draw your weapon. There's a Greyhound Park. They had a gun show there recently. Need to go to one of those famous Idaho gun shows. You know, in Idaho, you can actually buy a gun with cash, with no waiting period, as long as you're an Idaho resident. Now, get you one better. If you have an Idaho concealed weapons license, whether standard or enhanced, you can bypass all of it. You do not need to do a background check because the background check to do the enhanced weapons license or the standard one fulfills that requirement, so you don't have to do it each time. And regardless, if you're an Idaho resident, there's no waiting period on buying a gun. Which, excuse me, getting over a cold. What's this guy doing? Oh, he's going the speed limit. Good for him. You know, talking about this whole Idaho shooter, about this transient kid in a tree shooting firefighters, which is just disgusting. I heard he had a restraining order, or his mom had a restraining order against him, and then his dad had a restraining order against him. I don't know if that's true. That begs the question, how did he get a gun with a restraining order? We may not know. What do we listen to tonight? So we've got the couple radios going on in here. I'm a big radio guy, in case you can't tell. We've got, let's see here, a ham radio right there. These are hams. They're tracking 2 frequencies, 2 local repeater groups. And then down here, all this stuff, I'm not sure if you can see it. Here, we've got our radios. I'm scanning Kootenai County Fire and Idaho State Police. Kootenai County encrypts all their radio frequencies, at least for the police, except for the state police. Over here, we're going to start listening to some, I don't know if you can see that. We're going to listen to the Spokane County Sheriff, Spokane Police. Woo! I need more energy drinks. Alright, we're in Washington. Here's the, I don't know if you can see me moving around. I don't know how this works. We're still figuring it out. I'll probably cut this live here in about 5 minutes. At this point, I'm just going to ramble. We just passed the way station, the Washington way station, which are required for boats too. If you cross state lines with a boat, even if it's like a kayak, it's got to be inspected for invasive mussels. It's been a big problem. They took down part of the Snake River in Idaho for a while. Couldn't even fish out there. So this is my car. This has been my car for a long time. This is not mine. I don't own it, but I'm assigned it. And I've got all sorts of whiz-bang stuff in here. Like I said, 3 radios, 2 radios, a scanner. I got my, well, you can see all these flashing lights over here. That controls my all my emergency lights. This thing's pretty cool. You can go red, white. Love that. And then, of course, I got my Panasonic laptop because I am actually a manager and a senior manager at that. So I'm not normally on patrol. However, it's good to get out. It's good to just pick up some shifts, give some other guys some time off. I'm a salaried employee, so it also helps keep payroll down. I don't mind. I like to keep my skills honed. Oh, we got Washington State Police over there doing their whatever it is they're doing. Probably having lunch. I'm not a fan of these headlights, though. I just got these headlights and little low, so I'm gonna have to adjust that because I can't really see very far in front. Look at this. Oh, it picks up way more on the camera. It only shoots out about 20 feet in front of me. That ain't gonna work. All right, so what's gonna happen now is if anyone's watching, I can't see like comments. Maybe I can log into my laptop, but I shouldn't do that while I'm driving. That would be irresponsible. I'm gonna go see what this looks like and if me manipulating the camera. If this does work, I'm gonna do this again, and we're gonna go do our Spokane Street Patrol. Say that 10 times fast. All right, I'm not sure if anyone's watching. If you are watching, just leave a comment, let me know that you're watching, because I have never, ever done a live. I feel like I'm kind of built for it, though, considering I'm quite talkative, and that keeps you up at night. Isn't that right, partner? Nope. You're my partner tonight. All right, let's go see what this looks like.